The next person we've got up is Jack Galvin-Waight from the New South Wales Teachers Federation. He's brought his cheer squad with him. Look, I mean, as well as what's going on, you have to remember there's $80 billion being ripped out of state budgets. So that is going to impact on health, education, etc. So there are state issues tied up in this federal budget. So Jack.
Thanks, Gary, and I'd just like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land and pay my respects to any elders past and present. Colleagues, friends, thanks for taking the time out of your Sunday to send an important message to the Abbott government. A message that says there is no deficit crisis. A message that says we're not going to accept the budget that affects everyone except the rich. A message that says funding education is not a cost to the economy, it's an investment in our future. And the message that says our children deserve the Gonski reforms, not budget cuts. Comrades, when a Conservative government is elected, it shouldn't come as a surprise when we see an ideological-driven budget cuts. The surprise with this budget is the severity of the cuts and the severity to the young and the most disadvantaged, and the severity of the cuts to the support groups that provide support for these people. Many of these groups are here today, and they are involved in the crucial role of saving lives. Well, us teachers in public education, we're involved in the crucial role of saving and shaping futures. And these cuts to education will not only affect the futures of all our children, but also the future prosperity of our country. For Australia's prosperity has been built on a free, secular, public education. It has been built on a system that says quality education is a human right for all, not for a privileged few. Instead, this government, and in particular Education Minister Christopher Pyne, or Pinocchio as we refer to him as, this government wants to marketise education, wants to create a two-tiered system that only entrenches disadvantage. His partner in crime, Mr Abbott, said before the last election that he was on a unity ticket with Labor and that there would be no education cuts. Well, surprise, surprise, here we are today protesting against $80 billion coming out of health and education. We're protesting against the cuts to years 5 and 6 of the Gonski Agreement, which in New South Wales alone would mean $2.1 billion coming out of our schools. $1.8 billion coming out of public schools, which educates the vast majority of students from low socioeconomic backgrounds and students with special needs. We're also protesting against the continued cuts and privatisation of our wonderful TAFE system. We're protesting against the job losses of our TAFE colleagues in the Hunter and across Australia. We're protesting against the $1 billion coming out of the vet sector, including crucial programs such as Tools for Trade, apprenticeships, literacy and alternative pathway programs. It makes no sense. It makes no sense to cut TAFE funding, and for the future of the economy, TAFE must remain affordable and accessible for everyone. Comrades, the Teachers Federation is not affiliated with any political party. We're affiliated to good educational policy. And good educational policy is the Gonski reforms. Headed by big businessman David Gonski, it merely says that a fairer funding model in which schools are funded according to the needs of their students. Already this money is making a big difference to schools in the Hunter, with following programs like more individual attention in the classroom, extra specialist teachers and greater support for children with special needs. These programs need to continue. Yet in this budget, in 4 years' time, when my little girl who's in the crowd starts school, like thousands of other little kids, these programs will be gone. The good news is there's much you can do. You can support the full Gonski by signing up with the other 130,000 people at the I Give a Gonski site. You can sign up to the Stop TAFE Cuts campaign and send a message to your local MP and to Tony Abbott. And finally, you can continue to support the union movement, which stands up for workers' rights and a fair go for Australia.